Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to my channel. This is Harika. So, have you been exploring agentic AI? If so, for sure you might have come across these frameworks, right? So, even I was exploring a lot these days, and I have seen there are various frameworks out there, and sometimes it's a little bit overwhelming as well. Like which framework to use, why we have to use this framework, all these questions bombard, right? So, if you are also in the same place, then I have put out this particular video to just talk about underlying philosophy behind these frameworks, how they work, right? Because I'm not going to touch the point of exactly the performance or the strengths and the limitations, but however I wanted to explain you how these frameworks are designed in the background, how they're communicating between each other is the main agenda of this particular video. As a part of that, I'm going to compare three different frameworks. One is CrewAI, LangGraph and AutoGen. Talk about LangGraph. In LangGraph, if at all you have built any agent, you might have for sure built something called nodes and edges, conditional edges, all of these, right? So in LangGraph, it works in a way like how we define a workflow. It will start from a start node and it will go from start node to node A, and then from there to how you define based on the edge. If it's a conditional edge, it comes from conditional edge, however it's directed by the conditional edge. If it is not a conditional edge, then the flow will be straightforward from node A to node B and then to end, like that, right? It's based on completely how you define the workflow and how the nodes are directed to take the paths through the edges. That's how the LangGraph workflow will be working, and that's how the communication will be happening in the LangGraph. Talk about CrewAI. I think most of you know about CrewAI. It's very famous, one of the famous framework, right? So in CrewAI, the philosophy of how it works is basically it work on a hierarchical basis. So let's say there's a manager who assigns tasks to the team members. So the team members is specialized in certain categories. One is specialized in AI, other person is specialized in data, other person is specialized in governance. So the manager assigns the tasks to each and every individual team member. The team member performs the task and pushes it back to the manager. The manager combines the whole thing and will give the appropriate output. This is how the CrewAI framework works. It's mostly on the hierarchical basis. So now I want to talk about AutoGen. This is something which I recently explored, and from here my thought process has provoked like how the output would be coming and what is the real conversation that happens behind in the AutoGen framework. So when I was exploring AutoGen, something different I've observed from all of these agentic frameworks is it kind of works like a communication. To better explain you, I'll give an example of a meeting room or a roundtable conference. In a conference, you won't say a certain person to talk, or you won't say like, okay, you give your response or you give your response, right? You put up your point and whoever has the best response, the person will pick it up and respond. Based on that, you will be responding back, right? So it's kind of a more like a human conversation. So that's what I observed with AutoGen. So these are my observations and analysis which I figured out through my experience and my implementations. Okay, so this is something which I explored and figured out with respect to philosophy point of view. There are a lot of other things when it comes to strength and what are the limitations and the advantages, which we will talk in a next separate video. But however, these are my pointers and my perspectives as per my understanding. So if at all you have any other points to add on, please do let me know in the comments. And also thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Okay, so this is something which I explored and figured out with respect to philosophy point of view. There are a lot of other things when it comes to strength and what are the limitations and the advantages, which we will talk in a next separate video. But however, these are my pointers and my perspectives as per my understanding. So if at all you have any other points to add on, please do let me know in the comments. And also thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.